Okay, so I am back to Heath's house here in Christchurch. Just dropped Mike off at the airport, and I'm finally alone for the first time in about over 3 weeks. I don't have somebody with me. I think I'm going to try to change my oil today. I need to get oil and a filter, and Heath is a BMW guy as well, so he's got tools, which is a good thing. But I think I put right around 6,000 kilometers on this little RT out here since we got it in Auckland. So better take care of it a little bit, make sure that it doesn't have any problems before I try to sell it back. Also, I think I'm just going to take a day to rest and relax. I've probably been in a lot more pain than I actually let on in the videos because I didn't want Mike to know how bad I felt, really. I don't want to say I didn't want to ruin his trip, but I didn't want it to be unfun. But I've been in a lot of pain, not just my leg, but the doctor said I think you have a kidney infection, so I'm on some pretty heavy antibiotics right now. And they said in 3 or 4 days, if it's not better, you need to go to not the ER, the EC, the emergency center, because it could be kidney stones, which won't be helped by the antibiotic. So I really hope that it's not that, and I'll give it another day or so, but I'm still not feeling comfortable yet. But these are the realities of being in another country and having to figure things out. So that's what's going on with me today. Good morning. I'm still in Christchurch. I tell you, nothing tastes quite like cranberry extract to begin your day. Wash it down with a little water. The good news is I think I'm on the mend. I'm feeling a lot better. I had a bit of a kidney infection, best I can figure. I hope it's not kidney stones, but right now I feel pretty good. So we are going to hang out for a little bit this morning, do some chores. Heath is here. He's been working on laundry.
Good morning, and thanks for sharing my laundry skills, but that's quite alright. And I just have to show this for the American friends. I got this when I was in Wisconsin, and I had my bike serviced, and I had to buy the mug because it's got that on it. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. They were top guys there. They got me in straight away.
Okay.
So yeah. So it's a nice sunny day. You can show them.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It looks like the tropical storm has passed. I've got my, as Heath calls it, my bathing costume out to dry right now. But we are planning to do some maintenance on bikes in the garage. Heath has a blown fuse, so we're going to look into that, and I need to change my oil. And then we might hop on the road and take a little trip today. Now that Jeremy and Mike are back in the States, I'm going to be riding solo for a couple weeks here in New Zealand, and I really need to reorganize all my gear, make sure that I can fit everything I need on one bike. So I thought, well, Heath's busy doing some stuff this morning in the house, taking care of just laundry and things, that maybe I will show you how I pack my motorcycle and what kind of gear I bring. One of the questions I get asked all the time by people that don't do this sort of traveling is, how in the heck do you take everything you need for a month at a time on a motorcycle? And I admit it's a challenge, especially if you're a lady. We don't have a lot of creature comforts when everything you need for a month or so you have to take with you you just don't have very much space. So let's take a look. I'll go through one thing at a time. Here is my bike that I've bought here in New Zealand, and this is a big touring edition, so it actually even has like I don't know, I call it a glove box. I'm not sure what the real name for it is, but I can put, manuals and things in there. But this is the bike, and here's probably one of the most critical things I have. They're called rock straps. I really love this product because a traditional bungee cord, I'm not really strong enough sometimes to get them around the gear and hooked onto, someplace on the bike and they'll snap back and hit you in the face. Ask Jeremy about that. I think it happened to him in Labrador. But rock straps are great. The way they work is they've got little loops on either end, so if you can find a spot, you can just loop it around and it won't scratch your bike. Not that I'm too worried about that with this one, but they've got loops on either side and a little buckle clip here in the middle, so you can just clip it, unclip it. I'm trying to do this one-handed while I'm videoing, and then you just cinch it down, and it keeps everything really nice and secure without scratching the bike and without being dangerous. So, and they're really adjustable, which is fantastic. Oh, and here's Heath. What do you have here?
Well, there seems to be some surprise. So in the cause of international relations, I just want to show you, this is a British staple. This is called the bacon butty. Now, Kelly seems really surprised as to why we seem to eat bread with everything. So this is the gourmet of British cuisine. So you have bacon, and you have...
Which is not bacon, might I add. This is some sort of ham, but go ahead.
No, that is bacon. You know, this is how the Queen has it, and this is how we have it. So anyway, you have bacon, white bread, thin smattering of butter, and you have got to be HP brown sauce. Can't be anything else. And this is just
The best I can figure, HP brown sauce is like our equivalent of A1. So yeah, this is very foreign to me.
Would you like to try one?
You know, I think I'm okay. I had some nice yogurt. I've got a little granola.
Typical girl. The guy would go, oh yeah, give me the meat and bread. Girl's like, I'm going to eat healthy, which is great. Oh, I should eat healthy.
You know, I have absolutely nothing against bacon, but here I think you call it streaky bacon. It's different.
There's different. There's middle bacon, which has no fat. Streaky bacon, which I think is rubbish because there's no meat in it. And then you have rear bacon, which is a bit of a quarter of the leg or hind or something. So it's different. Yeah.
He likes sweet white wines. I go for a gravelly, minerally red. I think our palates are not compatible here.
Well, I'm probably not as sophisticated as Kelly, that's what I'm really saying, and I'm quite happy to put my hand up and say that. I don't move in those kind of circles where you drink red wine.
You know, you can get it in a box. Perfect for camping, might I add. The only tiny little complaint I have about this particular motorcycle, which it's been a champ on this trip, I've really enjoyed riding it, but this side box is not 100% waterproof, which is not a big deal. I mean, this thing is a 1994 motorcycle, probably older than some of my viewers out there, but anyway, so I make sure I put stuff in this one that it doesn't matter if it gets wet. So that's the perfect place to keep a cooler. So I've got a nice cooler in here, and I can keep things frozen. I keep food in there. I keep my cooler when I can inside a box because that keeps the sun off of it. And one little trick that I've been using on this trip is ice is really expensive here. So rather than using ice, I will actually just get frozen vegetables and put it in there, and then that kills two birds with one stone, because that'll keep your, meat for dinner, or, bacon for breakfast. That'll keep it cold, and then you have the vegetables to cook as well, and you don't have to use extra space for ice. So that works out pretty good. I have an MSR fuel tank that I use with my camping stove. I've got a Whisper Light camping stove, and it will actually run on either camping fuel or just regular gasoline. So it kind of doubles as a backup reserve if you get between cities and realize, oh, I probably should have filled up and I might not make it to the next town. I have 2 of these, so that'll probably get me as far as I need to go in an emergency. And then I keep Ziploc bags with things like shampoo, conditioner, lotion, deodorant, toothpaste, stuff that you have to pull out of your carry-on and let them look through at the airport. That's what I keep in one of these bags. And then some cooking essentials. In here I have a little bottle with some olive oil. I've got some pink Himalayan salt. I've got some cinnamon in a little bottle and some balsamic vinegar. So those things can make just about anything taste decent. A spatula for cooking. I've got a pair of tongs, which is really useful. Over here on this side, I've got probably the world's worst dish soap working in cold water. And that's a very big bottle, so I don't know that I'll keep that the whole trip. But that's what I've got right at this moment. Washing dishes, of course, is very important. You don't want to get parasites and risk your health washing dishes in lakes and streams and mud puddles. I mean, who would do anything silly like that? But at least have some soap and a sponge with you. In here I've got some utensils, forks, spoons, I've got a lighter, and then I have my plates and bowls. There's a company called Sea to Summit that I really like. They make good stuff that's collapsible and doesn't take up much space at all. So just inside of this little frying pan, which conveniently enough, it's designed for camping, so the handle like folds up and clips into place, which is great, very handy. But inside of here, I have actually a bowl, a cooking pot. This used to have a lid with a strainer, which was really handy, but I think I overpacked my pack a few times and broke the lid, and I hope to get another one. But the bottom of this is aluminum. And the sides, I can't think of what they're made out of, silicone I think, but they collapse, and as long as you don't get the flame on this side when you're cooking, then it's just fine, and that can boil spaghetti or anything you need to boil. These plates are hard plates, but they don't take up much space and they kind of nest together. I try to keep two in case I have company. This one's actually Jeremy's, but it's a plate that collapses as well. And then that's my skillet. So all together they make a nice little compact unit that fits inside of a skillet. I actually hold it all together to keep it in place. These are supposed to be like big hair bands for women, but they never worked well for me. I ended up repurposing them, but they work perfect on a skillet. And then a cutting board, which I don't know too many people that actually bring a cutting board with them, but I use it all the time because I'm always chopping vegetables and meat, and I don't really want to do that on picnic tables or on the ground. So it doesn't take up that much space, and it all just fits once you put it back together. Heath is hard at work helping me over here. He's getting all the fairings off so we can actually get to the oil, so we can give it a change and a new filter before we go too much farther. I've done about 6,000 kilometers on this trip so far with this bike. But anyway, here's my next box. But this is standard issue BMW from 1994. I don't think they've changed their design too much in the last bunch of years on those RSs and RTs. So, important thing to keep in here is a pair of sandals. Sometimes if it's really hot and you want to hop off the bike and jump in a stream and cool off, those are great to have. I have tender feet. This is one of my luxury items. It's actually a pair of rubber gloves that I like to use when washing dishes. Let's see. In here I keep just clothes, basic stuff that's soft. You can use it as a pillow if you need to. Go through that in a minute. Aha! Tapatio. This label's a little worn off, but I like hot sauce with eggs sometimes, so that's a little luxury item. Here's my other MSR bottle. Of course, it's important to have a good rain suit. So this is my rain jacket. I have a little coffee cup here. Okay, so I have a coffee cup, and inside of here, so you gotta use every little ounce of space. This is where I keep sugar. Because I do like sugar in my coffee, and cream when it's available. And I'm a bit of a coffee snob, for percolated. So this is vintage. I've got it in a little MSR cover here because I have 2 camping stoves. And this, I'm not sure what year it's from, but probably from the 50s. And it's got one of these nice little glass knobs on top so you can see the coffee percolating. And it opens up just like this. It's got a little basket. And I use every inch of space, so I keep a couple of bar towels in here to clean things up. And I don't like paper towels because they're not good for the environment, and it just seems like a waste when you can wash a perfectly good towel and use it over and over again. And then this is my little coffee pot. And here is my bag full of camping stove equipment. So I actually have 2 of these Whisper Light stoves in here. On this trip I've not had camping fuel. I've been running them on gasoline, so they're kind of dirty and sooty. It's not the best fuel to use in them. It kind of dirties up the jets a bit, but you do what you got to do. These just kind of extend, and then you've got this on the ground, and this is where you put the surface of your pots, and this plugs right into one of these tanks with an adapter, so that's really handy. A little aluminum shield to block the wind, and one to put on the ground if you're using them on the ground so you don't catch nature on fire. Also important on camping trips, I keep wet wipes. They're just handy. You know, I'm not crazy about paper towels, but sometimes if you're dealing with raw chicken or something and you have no running water, this at least makes you feel better about it. There, give you a quick wipe. In this kit, I keep toiletries and things. This has got my girly stuff like makeup in there. I do actually occasionally use it on camping trips. Not so much in the last few weeks, but there is some in there. I am actually a woman. I do keep a pair of nail trimmers in here, and mascara, and eyeshadow, and blush. Let's see, I even actually have a bracelet. Sometimes I'll actually put on a dress and go out on the occasion when I'm in a city and want to go out with friends or meet some people. It's rare, but it's nice to have just in case. You always feel better when you look like a lady. These are great. These are facial cleansing cloths from Olay, and they are dry, but they've got the soap already built into these little like blue dots, so if you don't have space to keep a lot of liquids, or if you're traveling through airports, you can just take a bunch of these cleansing cloths with you, and they kind of double as washcloths. I use hair ties, tiny little brush, toothpaste. I don't usually keep such a big one on a trip, but I've been on this trip for a while. Yeah, that's basically what's in there.
The oil was pretty black, but you can't say it, but that definitely needed a change.
She's an older bike. She deserves a change, probably a little more frequently.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Your bike's all done, and tickety-boo, so that's all good.
Tickety-boo.
Yeah.